When I woke up in the morning, I knew something was off. Pretty soon, I realized that I was missing a tooth. Upper set, one of the front ones. I'm not a particularly vain person, but losing a tooth upset me a lot. My anxiety flared and my mind exploded with reasons why my tooth could have fallen out. Was it because I only brushed my teeth once a day on the weekends, or was it something with my gums? I went through the day with my upper lip curled over my teeth and my mind filled with every possible reason why my tooth was gone. The next morning I was missing another one, bottom, towards the back. No blood, no pain. There was a hole there. I couldn't keep my tongue out of it, but that was it. I made an appointment with my dentist and didn't talk to anyone. On the third day, my front 3 teeth on the top and bottom were gone. I almost cried. I was single, and all I could think about is how no woman would want someone with such a fucked up mouth. Every few minutes I reached into my mouth and pushed and pulled on my teeth to see if they were loose. That just led to the worry that I was making them loose with all the tugging. I didn't even go to work. I just called my dentist and half a dozen times, trying to get them to see me as soon as possible. The anxiety burned me out, so after I carefully brushed my teeth, I went to bed early. I don't know when I woke up, but that's when I saw him. I don't know why I didn't scream or jump back against the headboard. Somehow I just stayed still and watched him through slivers of open eyes. In the dark, I could just barely see the outline of his hunched back. His face was pale and waxy. His thin glasses caught the little bit of streetlight that came in through my window. When he put his hands in my mouth, I tasted leather. Short, fat fingers pinched one of my teeth. I felt a quick, sharp slice into my gum, and then just a gap where my tooth was. He took 4 more, then creeped out of my room. The floorboards didn't squeak on my door hinge didn't whine as he closed it. I didn't ever hear the front door open and close. All I heard was a car starting and pulling out of my driveway. I didn't go anywhere the next day. My dentist's office called, but I didn't answer my phone or listen to their voicemail. I didn't move out of my bed. The hunger didn't bother me. I had fewer teeth than a jack-o'-lantern, and I couldn't even imagine trying to chew with such an asymmetrical mouth. He came back that night and took 3 more. When he left, I followed him. Where I walked, floorboards squeaked and the hinges whined. But he didn't look back. I saw his car, some old steel boat with fins and white walls. After he pulled out, I ran to my car and went after him. He had to know I was behind him. I kept my distance, because that's what the spies and detectives do in movies, but at this time of night, we were the only 2 cars on the road. And I realized he's seen my car before. We headed for the boondocks, rural roads I've never really been on. They were dark and narrow, turning back and forth, rising into the fog and dipping back down again. Trees flanked us, the only light came from our headlights. I didn't look to see what time it was when I got in the car, but it felt like we'd been driving for hours. Maybe he was trying to lose me, but I haven't seen any other roads. Finally, after a long curving ride up and then down a mountain, I started to see familiar roads. The guy was fucking with me. All we did was go in a big circle. These were streets that took us out into the backwoods to begin with. The exact streets. We were going back to my house. But then I realized that it wasn't my house. It looked like my house, but at my house the mailbox is to the right of the driveway. Here it's to the left. And up on the roof of this house there's a chimney. But the one on mine had to get dismantled years ago. Little things. He parked his car and walked inside. I followed right behind him. I knew where he was going and how to get there. The layout was the same as my house. Most of the crap inside was the same as well, except for those little things. I walked back to my bedroom and pushed the door open with my fingertips. He turned on a small lamp in the nightstand. Mine had 3 drawers, this one had 2. He was already at work. In my bed was a lump of flesh. Someone, maybe the man, had sculpted crude arms and a neck, and a soft, dented jawline. On the top of its head was an uneven, sparse tuft of hair. Brown. Same shade as mine. I watched him open up the lump's lipless, void mouth, and with crafter's precision carefully set my teeth into its mouth. After they were in, he grabbed them, wiggled them, and tugged on them. They wouldn't budge. He turned and looked at me. His face, yellow in the dim lamplight. His eyes behind the glasses were little more than pinpricks of pupil. He opened his mouth, wide, unhinged his jaw. All I could see was teeth, sloppily spiraling around inside of his mouth until they disappeared into the dark of his throat. I rode the spiral down. I woke up in my house, my real house. It was a few more nights before all my teeth were gone. Then, I started to lose my fingernails, toenails. Last night he took my lips. Now there's just a gaping black hole in my face. I don't know what he's going to take next. But I saw myself, half formed in that bed. I know that there's a lot of work to be done.